Though this week's portion, Beshalach, is among the most dramatic in the entire Torah and is used as the basis for understanding God's role in history, as the Israelites sang at the sea after they crossed through and the sea came crashing down on the pursuing Egyptian army, thus saving Israel from its enemies and allowing Israel to begin its journey to the Promised Land. That has served as a foundational element of the history of Judaism and our understanding of our relationship to God. That not only did God redeem us in the past, but in the future too we pray for the time when God will redeem us and gather us from all corners of the earth out of our exile from the land of Israel and bring us back to Israel with a rebuilt temple and the restored Davidic dynasty. That is traditionally what we pray for every day, 3 times a day in the Amidah, the central prayer of each of the services. But I want to challenge us with a theme of that redemption. It's one thing to understand God's power and God's love of the Jewish people, not in an elitist way, not in a way in which God only loves us and doesn't love anybody else. I'm not suggesting that. That redemptive power that God provides, both on the national level and a personal one, is inspiring and motivating. But the themes that play out in that Song of the Sea, I might suggest, are perhaps detrimental to what we really want to strive for as a religious people, because God is referred to as Adonai Ish Milchama, Adonai Shemo. God is a man of war. God is his name. And throughout that poem, there are violent images of what God has done to the Egyptians, drowning them in the sea like lead falling in water, images like that, that perhaps at the time 3,000 years ago would be dramatic and exhilarating, but in our day and age, the idea of violence as a message in religious teaching, and the fact that other people had to die in order for us to be free, should give us pause, and I would suggest is not the appropriate message that we might want to maintain in Judaism today. Maintaining this violent imagery perhaps creates a subconscious message that violence is okay in the pursuit of justice. And I want us to be left with this challenging thought. Is this really what we want to pray for every day, 3 times a day? Do we want to use these violent images to inspire us and motivate us and create an intense relationship with God? Or perhaps should we try to think about ways in which we can overlook these passages, or perhaps even to delete them from the prayer book and focus instead on the positive imagery and other exhilarating thoughts from our tradition? Food for thought. Shabbat Shalom.